Here's a very interesting creative tip. When you make something that you're not so familiar with, for example, in my case, I'm an artist and I make electronic music. And for example, I'm not so familiar with salsa music or with most Latin genres, or at least I've never really created a song with this kind of sound. Instead of going out and listening to people who already made songs from this style, from this genre, or doing research, try to figure it out yourself. How would a salsa song sound like? What kind of sound would you use? What perspective would you use? How would you arrange a salsa song without knowing anything about salsa? What instruments would you use? What melodies? What rhythms? What strings? What synthesizers? What drums? What percussions? What vocals? What layers? What bass would you use? And what effects would you use? How sophisticated would it be? Would it be simple? Would it be complex? Would it be layered? Would it be not so layered? Would it have a lot of mixing? Not too much mixing? How would you do it? And then once you finish it, or once you finish a set of different tracks, then you can listen to main inspirations of great artists, of well-known artists, medium well-known artists. Well, listening to a bit of everyone in the space, you listen to your song and you can see the contrast and the comparison, and you can see what you created. So you can call it maybe an inverse way of working backwards. I don't know if this already exists. If it already exists, let me know in the comments. But this has helped me several times in the past to make music, because I've only been making music for 2 years and a half. And I decided to make music that's like drum and bass, IDM, breakbeat, post-punk, like a mix of different styles and genres that sounds kind of like video games, even though it wasn't really my intention to make music for video games per se, but it just came out of me naturally. So if you're a creative or a musician or an artist, I suggest that you try this method of working, see what comes out, and see if it helps you become more creative. Or if you already used this technique before, let me know. I want to see what other people did and what they created using this technique. Follow me for more cool music, creative stuff.